to another WebFrame tutorial. Today we are going to go over some of the pages you might want to use in your application. Again, you can make many different types of pages in your application, but there are some special pages that do some different things. So let's get started by going to Developer Tools, and we're going to create a new project. And I want to name this project Pages because we're going to test out Pages today. And we'll hit Create. And here are the pages we went over in our last tutorial. The app.json, the header, and the start. The header is everything that goes in the head of your HTML document. The start is going to be the body of our document. The app.json describes the application as a whole. Let's throw something in start just so we can see. So I'm just going to throw right here, this is, let's put it in p tags. This is the body. Alright, and I'll hit save, and in a new tab here I'm going to open up our application, and it is Pages, and this is a body. Beautiful. Now up here at the top you'll see this help documentation. You'll see no help documentation available. Okay, well I want there to be some documentation to this. So let us go back over here and create a page. So the first page we're going to create here is the help page. So we simply type in help.php and hit create. And I will type in here, this is general help for our application. Okay, and if I hit save and I go back over to our application and I hit refresh, nothing's changed here, but if I click up here, this is general help for our application. Okay, let me make just another random page here, and you can see this will follow along. So let's call this page 2.php, and we'll just put here page 2 and close this up and hit save, and let's link to it from our first page. So we're going to use one of those commands we used in an earlier tutorial. Let's say when we click on this, we'll make this a link. And inside the link here, we're going to use one of the functions we did from the previous tutorial. Right in here, we're going to say wd URL and put in here wd type, wd app, and we're going to do page 2.php, and finally we're just going to leave that like that. Okay, and hit save. And if I go back to my document here, I can click on this. It takes me to page 2, and if I go to the help doc, this is general help application. Now if you want to do specific help for a specific page here, this is how we do it. So we're going to go back to our Pages application. We're going to create a new file. And this time we called that one page 2, I believe. Let's just double check. Cancel, scroll down, page 2, yep. So that's what we're going to name it here. But in front of it, I'm going to write the word help underscore page 2.php, and I'm going to hit create file and say this is help for page 2. Hit save, and now let's check out our document. So if I hit refresh and I click over here, this is general help for our application, and if I click on the link to go to page 2, it says this is help for page 2. So you have a general help which will blanket all your new pages, but if you want specific help on an individual page, this is the way to do it. Okay, so there are a few other things we need to cover. Next up here, let us talk about the banners and footers you can put on your page. So to start off with, let's make a banner. So we're going to do new file, banner.php. In the banner file, I'm going to put a header that I want to show up on every page. Instead of having to include this on every page, it will get included automatically. So I named my app Pages, so that is what this is going to say, Pages. And hit save, and let's go to our application here. We go back to the first page, we have Pages, this is a body, and if I click on the link, we have Pages, page 2. Beautiful. Let's put a footer on this application. To do this, I'm going to go over here, new file, footer.php. And a basic footer here. Let's do in italics here, let's just put footer. Okay, and I'm going to save that, and let us take a look and see what happens. So page 2, there's the footer. Go back to page 1 here, there's the footer. All right, beautiful. So our application is going well. This application can be seen when we're logged in, but what if we want information that we don't have to log in and see, maybe an API or maybe something for the front of our site? What we're going to do in that case is we're going to add a new file again. This time we're going to put the word web in front of it. So let's do web, and let's go back and do our start page again. So we'll do webstart.php and hit create. So instead of our normal start page, we're going to put something here instead. So let's put I'm on the outside of the site. Okay, and let's put that in p tags, huh? Okay, and I'm going to save. And if I come outside the site, so I'm using localhost right now, and I go to web.php $, and over here we're going to put the type. The type was, again, my apps. We're in the my app section. And I'm going to put the next piece here is app is equal to, and this was pages. And then finally we're going to put the section, okay? And that's going to be the page that we're on. And instead of putting web-start, we just put the part after the web. So we're going to put start.php like that and press enter. And I'm on the outside of the site. Now this comes, if I go to the source code, this is going to come with a whole bunch of source code with it. Okay? If we don't want that source code to be there, we can do the sub page of this. So I can go to web sub, and that's with a capital S, and press enter, and now those paragraph tags are gone. In fact, all of that is gone. And you can just see this is just without any, if when I go to the source code, there's no HTML involved here. This is great for setting up an API. In fact, why don't we do that on this page instead of what we have here? So let me full screen this, and I'm going to blow this stuff here away. And let's take in 2 variables. Let's have this be an addition app, okay? So we're going to call this if get n1, and we're going to say if this is set, okay? So is set and $get n2 is set, okay? And this has to be in PHP. Silly me, let's get that in there now. And this is going to be an if statement like that, and let's close our PHP tag. And inside here we're going to say $n1 is equal to test input. And you know what, we didn't actually want to, I'm just not even going to bother testing this. This is going to be an unsanitized application because we're going to use the subpage for this, and it's not even going to come with those test inputs or some of those other fields. So, does it? I think it does actually come with the other fields. So let's do it. We'll find out. I believe it does. So $n1 is equal to test input like that, and we're going to put this in here, copy, I believe everything's sanitized, and then we're going to do that again for 2, and we're going to go like this and like this, and finally we're going to do n3 is equal to n1 plus n2, and we're going to echo our results for people to see. Let's give a shot to our app. So I'll hit save. We'll go over here. And, oh, you know what? We're going to add a little something here. If these aren't set, we're going to tell people to set them. So else print add num, and we want to echo this. Echo I'm going to add num 1 and num 2 to URL. Let's do that. Okay, and hit save. So let's go back to our application now. And here we are, and that was, I guess the get statements are set, so I should have been a little bit more clear on that. But that's okay. Let's continue. And let's add some get statements here. So, and n1 is equal to, let's say, 5, okay? And we'll say N2 is equal to 9, okay? And hit enter. And what we should see, if I'm not going crazy, view page source. I think what my problem is I think that, let me just try getting this out for a second, because the get might already be set. Let's just try this for a second. Okay, and it did it. I just messed up on my if statement there. So if I go 9, for instance, and the test inputs are working, 9 plus 9 is 18, and I set this to 20, so hopefully this comes out to be 29, and it is. And you can set up your own API using this. Along those notes, you might want to set up a cron job. So let's just go back one more time, and we're going to put in new file and do cron.php. So from this file, you can actually add a cron job. I'm not going to add one at the moment. If you have cron set up, that will work. Oops. That's because I didn't actually add anything in here. I have to add something in order to save it. So we're just going to let that be for right now. Yeah, that's okay. We'll fix that later. But those are the files. Those are the primary files that you are going to want to look out for. There are a couple others I forgot to mention. The only other one I think I'll mention right now is style.php. So if you make a file called style.php, it will add this style, not style.php, I said the wrong thing. Let me go back. Style.css. That makes a lot more sense. Style.css. Okay. We take this out of here. And if I put something in, for instance, like body, let's do HTML body like that, and let's say we want the background color to be black. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we want the foreground color, or the text color, to be white, like that. And I hit save, and we go to our application. Oops. What did I do wrong here? Not exactly sure what I did wrong here. I'll see if I can make the correction in the next video, but you gotta trust me here. The style tag is what we're going to use to make this happen. So, on that note, I am going to leave you, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Bye.